When it comes to Harmony's native token called One, as of right now, 25 cents is around a 44x from here. Now, what are my thoughts on this, even though nothing I say is financial advice? Well, first of all, the way to take a look at it is this. When I just take a look back less than a year ago, the market cap was around 570 million at one point. That was back in December of 2024. Again, less than a year ago. It's around a 7x from where it is as of right now. Now, I'm totally aware that, again, it's a totally different case than 25 cents, which is around a 44x from here. But less than a year ago, One was doing that, and I don't think that was even an altcoin season. Now, past performance doesn't guarantee future performance, but the way I view it is that when it comes to Harmony, I just haven't given up. And even if I take a look at the idea of 25 cents, considering current circulating supply, at a market cap at that point of around 3.7 billion, like back then when I was talking about that, some people were saying, oh, that's too low now. I get it, it's around a 44x from here, but a lot of people who are telling me that are now saying, oh, this is maybe too much when it comes to One. So yeah, the sentiments can change, but I haven't changed my view when it comes to Harmony because I still believe in it. I still like it overall, and I'm still a fan of the project because I don't think anything fundamentally became bad when it comes to it. And in the grand scheme of things, really around a $3.7 billion market cap, it's not breaking any records. It's not, setting any new bars that it has to be reached. No, it's a relatively kind of not even such a big deal, probably, but just because, the market cap of One is not doing the best as of right now, that is around a 44x from here. But at the same time, if let's say I am a fan of a project, if let's say I like where it could be, at least in terms of the fundamentals and what I see moving forward, maybe, I just don't want to give up. And if anything, if let's say the price is kind of relatively speaking low, and my intention is a dollar cost average, I don't know why I'd find that such a big deal. Again, if let's say this shirt was having an 80% discount, would I complain? I think probably not if I was willing to even acquire it, let's say, without a discount. That's just an analogy that I would put on it, but I'm not telling you to do anything, and nothing I say is financial advice. Again, however, besides that point, what I think makes Harmony special is that, sure, there's a lot of blockchains out there, but when I take a look at Harmony, again, it's an open blockchain network, but I think what makes it a little bit unique and a little bit more interesting, even despite this kind of being relatively, known, is that when it comes to Harmony's mainnet, it can run Ethereum applications while at the same time maintaining lower fees and having faster transaction speeds. And if I take a look at the Harmony platform, it also offers cross-chain bridges, which allows users to transfer assets across multiple blockchains, such as, for instance, the BNB Smart Chain, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and many others. And also, when I just take a look at something like that, I don't think the fundamentals are bad. The use case doesn't seem bad at all to me. And also, I think what makes Harmony pretty special is that it utilizes something called sharding technology. Now, people may be thinking, what is that, right? Let me just explain this real quick. Basically, through sharding, the network is split into multiple sections known as shards. And workload on the network, they're distributed amongst these different shards, and as a result, it becomes very scalable. Now, Harmony is not, again, the only one that has an aspect of sharding technology. I mean, if we take a look at the Near Protocol, which I think is kind of the most famous project out there that has an aspect of sharding, again, that's very popular. And also we take a look at Zilliqa, which is allegedly the world's first ever sharding-based blockchain. So yeah, when it comes to this, I mean, we kind of see it sometimes, but I still do like seeing that when it comes to Harmony. And again, when people like to say, oh, the project's going to be forgotten about and all this, well, I feel like the team hasn't given up. When I take a look at Harmony, I mean, there's still updates and stuff like that. I just don't think that it's a project that gave up. Other projects out there, they have actually, I think, kind of gave up. And in some cases, it's just completely not even kind of existent. Let me explain what I mean by this, right? Not too long ago, a project that I'm a fan of back then, and as of right now, I'm still holding, but I'm not really hoping too much when it comes to it. But besides that, something called Kadena. Now, in case, someone is wondering, okay, what happened here? We take a look at the Kadena organization, allegedly not too long ago, ceasing operations, right? They made a post on X and they're explaining how, because of the market conditions, they're no longer going to be basically kind of continuing when it comes to the organization. But I haven't seen anything drastic like that when it comes to Harmony. So I think in the grand scheme of things, at a time like this, when altcoins are not doing the best, when other projects out there have kind of basically given up, and in some cases, if we take a look at Kadena, right, the Kadena organization just, stopped operations, allegedly. But yeah, I haven't seen that when it comes to Harmony. So yeah, I'm still a fan when it comes to Harmony. Not to mention, when I take a look at Harmony as well, people like to say, okay, what makes it even more a little bit unique? Well, it is, I think, gonna come down to a certain aspect that is called EPOS, because Harmony uses a consensus mechanism called EPOS. Now, this is otherwise known as effective proof of stake, and it's actually kind of similar to the proof of stake model, but then at the same time, it's a little bit different in my opinion, because if we take a look at it, most, proof of stake systems, right, they reward validators for staking more tokens. Now, Harmony's EPOS is a little bit different because it actually penalizes validators who stake too much on a single node. However, when people take a look at this, sometimes they're like, that's so counterintuitive. They're just doing this to try to act cool and stuff like that. Well, actually, if we take a look at why is that the case, right? Again, Harmony's EPOS penalizing validators who stake too much on a single node, that right there actually encourages something called decentralization. And, just kind of logically speaking for me, just in theory, the more decentralized something is, I think the less susceptible it is to potential breaches and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think it's pretty cool overall when it comes to Harmony. Now, again, if we take a look at it quite simply, it's not like it's the most unique project of all time, but I still think it has unique aspects to it. And also on top of that, I still do like it fundamentally. Now, sometimes you like to say, okay, why would anyone believe in this if there's other competition out there? Well, again, Harmony's not the biggest project out there, but it's kind of like in the world of cars, right? Is there only one car brand? No, I mean, there's a bunch. So the way you take a look at it is that, yeah, sure, Harmony probably isn't going to be number one, but it doesn't really need to, because the way you take a look at it, the market cap is, relatively speaking, kind of low in the grand scheme of things. I mean, for a project that's pretty well known like Harmony, and seeing something like one with a market cap of around 80 million, I think that's kind of, relatively speaking, pretty low. When the market cap of one less than a year ago was, again, in terms of market cap, over $500 million, this kind of, relatively speaking, seems kind of low. And Harmony has been kind of known to not be ignored when the market was doing pretty okay. I don't think that was an altcoin season, but the sentiment for altcoins back then was, I think, a lot better than right now, even though it was less than a year ago. So yeah, I think Harmony, in a sense, I just don't want to give up on it. I just saw what it did less than a year ago. Again, I just don't want to give up on it. However, sometimes you like to say, okay, when is there going to be an altcoin season? Well, that's totally beyond me. I can't demand an altcoin season to start. The only thing I can do is just stay patient, hold, and wait, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, beyond that, I can't control anything else, right? But ultimately, I just don't want to give up when it comes to Harmony. I don't want to give up when it comes to One, because I just like its fundamentals a lot. And sure, things may not be looking the best as of right now, but who knows, a month later, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, it could be different. Because even if we take a look at, let's say, back in, July of last year, a lot of people were kind of writing Harmony off. And then, of course, in December, it had a really good rally, but still, and of course, I'm talking about 2024, but it just goes to show that sometimes things go up and down like that. It's very kind of roller coaster type of vibes, but I kind of knew that getting into it, and I know that one, it's just not going to be as stable as something like an Ethereum or a Bitcoin, but at the same time, one going to 25 cents is around a 44x from here. I don't know if Ethereum or Bitcoin could do that in the next 5 months. This is just my perspective. If Bitcoin went to 300 grand, that's actually slightly under a 3x from here. I'm not telling you to do anything, but that's just my mentality. I haven't given up when it comes to one. I'm just dollar cost averaging, holding, and just waiting. So if, let's say, I'm just holding and the market just, does its thing and it kind of wakes up, it's kind of, I think, good enough preparation for me, because I didn't have to try to anticipate that to the perfect time. All I was just doing was just holding. So then when it, for whatever reason, wakes up whenever it wants to, it's kind of like not missing out on the ride, so to speak. However, again, I'm not telling you to do anything. It's just personally my mindset when it comes to this. And again, I don't think I've seen an altcoin season during this cycle, but with over 600 million crypto owners as of right now, which allegedly, is the case, and that's supposedly more than ever before in history, if, let's say, there wasn't an altcoin season during this cycle, I'd be very surprised, actually. Again, with that many crypto owners, I mean, back in 2021, during the peak of that bull run, there was around 300 million. So, yeah, the way I take a look at it is that I'm still waiting, I'm still staying patient, I haven't given up, and I'm staying the course. I just don't want to give up like that. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'd greatly appreciate it, and I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you for watching. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.